Liverpool Football Club is aware of an allegation of racist abuse made during our Premier League game against AFC Bournemouth. We condemn racism and discrimination in all forms. It has no place in society or football. The club is unable to comment further as tonight's alleged incident is the subject of an ongoing police investigation, which we will support fully. So as things stand, what we can infer from Liverpool's statement is that this is now being dealt with by the police.
Yeah, as I said before, it's a serious matter. It'll be dealt with by the police. There needs to be strong consequences. And it's what the game does. We've seen a lot of those statements over the last 10, 15 years, and they keep coming out after every single game. It's like plug and play. But what's changing? I think that's the key thing. What's changing?
And that's exactly the point that Adam Smith was making in his interview, which is there are lots of gestures and not too much change within the game. It's certainly not eradicated it from the game. Antoine Semenyo went on then to score 2 goals that brought it back to 2-2 for Bournemouth at Liverpool this evening. Liverpool went on to take the game by 4-2. Jamie, you've been talking about some of the defensive concerns, and Arne will be joining us, and you'll be able to put your questions to him. But before we do, and because we are going to get caught in those more negative conversations, we should talk about how well Bournemouth played, particularly given that they're a group of players, and defensively are a group of players who haven't played together in the Premier League before.
Well, when you think of what Bournemouth did last season, they were a team who we all talked about. Everybody was raving about them. Every time we did Monday Night Football, you're coming in doing a Bournemouth piece, looking at the stats, the numbers. But I think that performance to go first game of the season to the home of the champions, with the problems that you've had, the players that you've lost. Listen, Bournemouth fans know their team better than me, but that surely has to go right up alongside any performance from last season. You know, they've just been a little bit unfortunate. So, you know, the last kick of the game, ball just drops to Chiesa. He's fallen away and just finds the bottom corner. I mean, they were absolutely fantastic. They should have gone 1-0 up, maybe even 2-0 up. 2 big chances in the first half. I thought the game had got away from them. So to come back there and do what they did to Liverpool in that second half and leave them hanging on and leave them needing to score in the last minute was a fantastic performance, as I said, considering the players that they've lost from last season.
When we spoke to Araola before the game, he sort of conceded that it would be tough for them, particularly as a new group of players coming to the home of the champions, that they might not have too much of the ball. But how impressed were you with what they did when they did have it?
I thought they were excellent. I thought the front four were a real threat. I thought Scott was really sort of dangerous. Semenyo obviously was a huge threat to Liverpool. They should have, as Jamie said, gone 1 or 2 up in the first half. They were creating big moments. It was always going to be tough for them, but it was a great performance from Bournemouth. It really was.
Well, Arne has made his way to join us. Arne, thank you so much. Congratulations on the victory. We will talk about the football, but it's important that we get your thoughts on the report that Antoine Semenyo gave to the officials alleging racist abuse. What was said over on the benches? And I know you made a point of going over to speak to Semenyo at the end of the game.
Yeah. No, I think the club made a clear statement. We don't want this in football. We don't want this in a stadium to happen, but especially not at Anfield. So. We should talk about that. We should talk about maybe that for a long time, because it's unacceptable that something happens like this in a stadium, let alone at Anfield. And that unfortunately gets the shine off. I don't know if that's really good English, but because our fans were unbelievable when you talk about the tribute for Diogo. So, but what happened over there is definitely, I didn't hear it. I only can say that that this should definitely not happen in a stadium.
And the club, as you say, have put out a statement saying that they condemn abuse in any form. And I know that it's with the police, so there's a limit to what can now be said.
Yeah.
As you said, that we could have been talking about a fantastic game, and we will talk about what was a fantastic game. You take all 3 points from it. Were you happy with everything that you saw out there?
I think it was a great game to watch, and this is why football. This is what football makes so great. 3 parties involved that wanted to play a very nice game. Us, Bournemouth, and the referee. So high tempo, no time wasting, no diving. Just keep on playing. This is what football makes so nice. 2-0 up, going 2-2, because they just kept on going after 2-0 down. It's a big compliment for them not to give up, but just keep on fighting. And then we did the same after we conceded the 2-2. And not only we, our fans were at that moment of time. And even before the game, when during the "You Never Walk Alone" and the tributes for Jogo, the banner they had, it altogether it should be about that. But the game of football was also impressive, in my opinion.
Yeah, very impressive game of football. Was you always convinced that Liverpool were going to take
No.
3 points from that game?
No, because we played them last season here when we were 3-0 up. They just kept on going. They were in every stat, a running stat, very high last season, and you could see today again. We, by the way, as well, but you could see today again how fit this team we faced was and never gave up. Because you can talk about rest defense, but I think the moment we lost the ball in both situations, the rest defense was in order. But the pace they have, the tempo they sprinted all the way, it was a 4v2, I think, on this side. That's also credits to them. But like I said, they faced a team that's really fit as well and never gives up. We've lost many players during the summer, but we didn't lose our mentality.
I'm really interested in that point, because I've heard you make it in almost every interview that you've given, because you're asked so often about the players who've come in, but you're always at pains to emphasise the players who've gone over the summer.
Not always, because it's only the second day I have an interview, I think.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
But yeah, everybody is asking me the same question. Yeah, you have a lot of new players. Yeah, reality is we've lost a lot of players as well. I think we even lost more than we got. But it's normal if you bring such a talented players in, and you've already won the league last season. That everybody's talking about that. But yeah, if you normally, when it was 2-2. You know, I think these two know which player I was looking at that moment of time. I would have loved to bring Diogo Jota in, but now I couldn't for terrible reasons. But now the fans and the players that were still there did what he did so many times for us in the past.
Arne, can I ask you just mentioned rest defence there, and it's been a problem in the pre-season, in the Community Shield and here today. I think what stood out for me watching your Liverpool team last season was how much control you had in games, and I very rarely saw end-to-end games. I feel like I'm seeing that today and in the Community Shield. Is that a worry for you? Because there's a lot of attacking talent on the pitch now that maybe wasn't there as much last season.
Not that we bring more bodies in front of the ball, maybe, but we do have players that are looking maybe for a final pass or a difficult solution in the end phase of an attack a little bit more, because they also have these passes than we had last season. And probably, I'm not talking about a player we lost, but I do talk about a player that was not available last week and not this week, and that's Ryan Gravenberg, who was last season very, very important in these moments as well. So with McAllister only being back 2 or 3 weeks in pre-season, we lost a little bit of that control in our midfield. But yeah, Ryan will be back next week and Maka will be fitter again. And we need to find a better balance in taking the risk, because it's 2 or 3 simple balls that led to counter-attacks. Where here we lost in the 2-1, we lost the ball with a trick as well, where Dominic wanted to do a trick.
Could you believe what you were seeing? I mean, I was up on commentary, maybe even got a better view than yourself. I think there was 7 or 8 players in the box when the score was a 2-1. Are you sort of encouraging that, or would you be furious with that?
No, depends on where the players of the opposition are. If they are standing over here at the halfway line, it would be stupid for us to be there with 7. But if they go with all players back in their own 18-yard box, we need to have a rest defense in order to be close and to them there as well. I think if you, I don't know if we can show this, but if you stop the play the moment Mo loses the ball, there's not such a big problem. I think the rest defense is in order. But then they just came with 3 or 4 out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, out of their own 18-yard box. And
Arne, we've got it for you.
Yeah. So if you look at this moment now, if you stop it, stop. Yeah, you can stop it, but
a little bit earlier.
Can we take it back?
Yeah.
But Arne, we're 2 defensive players, 2 full-backs. Just take it back a little bit further, if we can. A little bit further.
We used to play like this, actually.
No, that's fine. No, what I'm saying is, I don't like the fact that Liverpool's 2 full-backs at this stage of the game. Joe Gomez has made an inside run. Andy Robinson's in the box. That, to me, feels too much on the front foot.
Depends on where their players are. And if I see it now and I see where Semenyo is, then you could argue if Robbo should be this high for stop. For me, Robbo should be where Semenyo is. And you can argue if all of our midfielders should go inside the 18-yard box now. But that's also who we were and who we are, and that's also why you see such a nice game if you watch Liverpool, because we don't we're not going to go to a low block and defend. Stop. You see, we are in 2v1 behind the ball. And you see players from us sprinting back as well. But give credits to Semenyo.
Arne, can I just say that worries me a little bit?
What?
When you say that's the team that we are, with so many bodies going forward. Am I allowed to say that? Sorry, boss.
No, you're allowed to say this. But then you need to support a team that's going to play with 11 players in their own box. I prefer to see this. But I prefer even more to see not being counter-attacked. That I agree on. But I like it that our players like to play football, and I think last season we were a joy to watch, like for example Paris Saint-Germain, who do similar things like this.
Arne, to be honest with you, I think it's a breath of fresh air in the sense of how I see the game should be played. It's how we used to play. I quite often last year said that football was becoming quite formulaic, where players weren't free. It felt like they were being sort of like coached like robots to say, you must pass it here, you must pass it there. So when I see that tonight, I feel like that's really exciting. Obviously, sometimes you will concede goals doing that. Is this how you're going to play for the rest of the season? Because I think that it's going to be thrilling to watch Liverpool if it is.
Yeah, we will try. Although we want to do better in the transition moments, of course. But it's also then, if Mo would have had a shot on goal that went over or a corner kick, is not a problem. So where do you lose a ball is crucial as well. The moment how Dominic Szoboszlai lost the ball with a trick, that is not smart in that moment of time. But we will fine-tune even more these counter-attacks, hopefully. But we will work on that definitely. But we do want to stay the team that is a joy to watch offensively. And we're not a team, if we're 2-0 up, we're going to go with 10 men in our own box. That's not who we are.
You substituted both your fullbacks, Carragher and Frimpong. What was you just thinking behind that at that moment in the game?
I'm looking for the English word, but that wasn't out of luxury. That was because Jeremy Frimpong felt his hamstring at half-time and made a lot of sprints.
He was doing quite well, wasn't he?
He was doing quite well, but the other fullback, Conor Bradley, is already injured with a hamstring injury, so you don't want to take the risk of another fullback, lose another fullback. Then you could argue, why don't you play Joe Gomez there? But I just said he only had 2 sessions in pre-season, so he wasn't able to play half an hour, so we started with Wata, and our left fullback, Milos Kerkez, is a player that the fans like, because in every duel he goes all in. But when you have a yellow card already and you play Semenyo, that's kind of a risk. Yeah. And if you have Robertson as a backup, then that was the reason for those two. And Hugo Ekitike came later in pre-season, has to adapt from, I think I can say that Liverpool is a bigger club than Frankfurt. And the league is probably more intense as well. So for him to be able to play 70 is already a big bonus after being 2-3 weeks here. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment, because we lost some players.
You need more players, Arne.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So does that mean there's more to come in the transfer window?
I'm not saying we need more. I'm only saying that everybody's only talking they added. No, we didn't add. Till now, we only replaced. And you never know what's going to happen in the window. We do already signed one with Leone.
Yes.
So that's a good thing.
Arne, I will say, when we came here this evening, I didn't think you'd get support from this corner and criticism from that corner.
It's not
but
criticism,
that's
it's constructive.
Kelly, he played under Rafa Benitez. He had 4 defenders that never moved. He had 4 midfield players that never moved. He had 8 behind the ball every week.
And won the most famous Champions League final of all time.
Listen,
and I spoke to Benitez and he said that's only because of Jamie, because he has to play in big spaces. He has a problem.
Arne, listen, we really appreciate you coming out. Thank you very much.
welcome.
Congratulations on the victory. Thank you. And it is job done as far as getting the result is concerned. Whether you two have concerns about Jamie, how the setup is and how that might look as the season goes on, or Gary, whether it's the kind of football that you played and that you enjoy watching, a style of football that clearly Arne Slot is going to be playing with Liverpool.
I get Carragher's point, because they're going to go to Newcastle, they're going to go and play Arsenal here in a few weeks, and you can't obviously be that open at times. But because Liverpool have got such a punch, if you just throw punches and go punch for punch with a lot of teams, you'll win most of your matches. And go and risking to win games. I mean, they had 7 or 8 players in the box at 2-1. If that's 3-1, you say that's brilliant. That's what we want to see. And I was so critical at times last season of seeing teams recycle the ball, where they were basically sort of didn't know how to go forward. So when I watch a team like that runs forward, that passes forward, that commits players, that's got 2 full-backs forward, that leaves 2-on-2 at the back, that to me is a thrill. That's what the Premier League is. Now, I know that ultimately when we're talking about tactical football, later on in the season, we would be critical if Liverpool lost the league playing like that. But I think at this point in the season, I think you're okay to be able to do that. And I think they obviously have to sort it out in bigger games. They've obviously got players to come back. So I don't want to be too critical of it, because I think it does... I reminisce and think that that's how we would play. We would commit, we would risk, we would try and thrill at all times in the games and score more goals. And at 2-1, you don't sit back. And that's what I think Liverpool have done to that. But I can see why you're slightly worried. But let's see how they do against Newcastle and Arsenal. That would be a bigger test, I think.
Which are coming up very shortly for Liverpool. And of course, we'll be bringing you that game between Newcastle and Liverpool. Might well be an interesting one, given the transfer speculation. He talked about Giovanni Leone, who has come into the club. He's a young defender, young Italian defender, and is one for the future. But Arne Slot talking about him as very much part of that Liverpool squad.
How far away is he?
But who will be Liverpool?
About 4'3".
What a start for him, and he's got a great future ahead of him.
And do you know what? I'm not being biased about centre forwards.
Yes, you are.
But I am. You'll stick up with me. But to be a centre forward, to make this feel your home straight away, to get on the score sheet, to feel important, to feel that you've got the respect of the players, the fans, the manager already. That goal will mean so much to him. He'll just feel part of things straight, and he can hit the ground running now.
It just seems like he just wants to improve every day. We spoke there about not being happy with the game, and we thought that he played well. Mo, you said it before about even receiving the ball to feet, and that's a difficult thing to do. He runs in behind it, he walks into little pockets, so clever on his back foot, so comfortable technically. But I mean, if he carries on like that, he'll score loads of goals this season.
I mean, it's lovely, isn't it? He's the new big money signing, the new number 9 for the best team in the country by a mile. He scores 2 in 2 important games straight away. And he's still only talking about his fitness levels can improve another third. After 60 minutes, he's got cramp. He says all the right things about adaptation to his team, about learning the language, about doing this, about doing that. He's got a really, really bright future. I mean, it's incredibly bright already, but you can see he's got a long way to go, hasn't he? And he wants to keep on improving, and he's going to get chances galore in this side, the way Liverpool are playing.
Yeah, so he got his debut goal. Gakpo then made it 2. And at that point, Liverpool looked like they were cruising. But what about Bournemouth and Antoine Semenyo tonight in particular, Jermaine, on the back of his new long-term contract?
I thought he was the best player on the pitch. Just everything he did, really, his work rate. I mean, it's so dynamic. We spoke about Bournemouth being good on transitions. I think they've showed that even last season. But he just gets into the area here. It's a good finish. He's so good with both feet. But here it's just a case of just making the box, getting into those sort of like prime goal-scoring areas, and it's a good finish. Just got to hit the target there. But everything he did tonight was brilliant. He was a threat, strong, and he looked like he was the one that was going to make the difference.
Maka, how difficult, I know this starts in the Bournemouth half, is it to carry the ball for this length of the field like Semenyo did here?
To be honest, you're asking the wrong person.
I know, it's easy.
I thought it's very easy. No, I really do think it's very easy. The easiest thing is that no red shirt's going anywhere near him, Steve. He's run 50 yards. With all respect, it's a lovely goal and a great finish. He doesn't do anything. He just runs in a straight line, slows down, puts onto his left foot and smashes it home. So it's not necessarily hard. It looks harder than it was. The one thing I would say is that he signed a new long-term deal. Thankfully for Bournemouth, he signed it because he's probably bumped up his transfer fee a lot more. He's very impressive. He's a great mover. He's got great shape on him, strong.
Yeah.
Someone's going to come for him. That's the only thing for Bournemouth fans. They probably don't want me to say that now after losing 3 of their centre-halves. And maybe Ouattara's going to go, but somebody's going to be after him next because his shape's good. He's built for the Premier League and he's dangerous. Looks dangerous whenever he sees the ball. And with all respect, in a better team, he'll look even better. He'd suit Liverpool.
Yeah,
He'd
Michael
suit
said that
Liverpool
on this
down
show
to
last
the
season
ground.
when the Salah was...
I know we're talking about Isak 150. Well, he could be half the price. And you'd pay it, no problem at all.
So difficult to play against.
So difficult.
With that power, it's so difficult to play against.
Maybe it's just me feeling tired. He ran 75 yards there.
Yeah, well, it's easy for Maka to do. I'd be knackered by the time I did about 40 yards. So it's not easy. You get tired. But he is so direct, so good. He's got such a good temperament as well. As the lad said, 2-footed. I mean, Liverpool needed to change their fullback. And that's a big money signing. Carragher, whether he was on the floor, whether he was in the air, he couldn't deal with him. Then he got a yellow card. And, of course, Robertson had to come on, but he had the legs to score. Then again, late on, score again. I thought Bournemouth were brilliant tonight. And I didn't quite see... Sometimes you see wave of attack from Liverpool in the last 10 minutes. I wasn't quite thinking Liverpool are going to score here, but then the class told eventually.
So this is a story, because just behind us here, Cop End, Federico Chiesa had not been on the pitch 7 minutes. He's only played in the Premier League 7 times. What a moment. What a moment to score your first Premier League goal.
Yeah, and weirdly for a very experienced player who's represented his country many times, it was almost a fairy tale moment for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't take part really last year, and then this one just falls to him. And it is a little bit of fortune how it falls to him, but what is unfortunate is his technique.
Yeah.
To lean slightly to the left, slice it with his right foot past the goalkeeper. It was a wonderful finish. And I was absolutely thrilled to bits for him. I really, really was, because he's had it hard over a number of years. And coming to Liverpool, he hasn't played probably as much as he wanted to. He's got his opportunity today, and look at that finish.
That's brilliant. It's almost like he had to change his body shape a little bit, you know, and just like improvise a little bit, and just, it's a fantastic finish. Obviously instinctive in that, but to come on and make an impact like he did, you know, credit to him, because, you know, he didn't play that much last season, but that's all you can do.
Yeah. The way he fell away from the ball as well to give him almost room. You lose a little bit of power on the volley, but when it's that accurate, then it doesn't matter. But just the ball's dropping. If it's too far in front of you, it's very hard to find a place to go.
Yeah.
So falling away, giving your body room to swing your leg. What a lovely finish. But, you know, he's shown that on numerous occasions throughout his career, just not yet in a red shirt, but that could be a game changer for him.
Yeah. And you can't keep Mo Salah out of the headlines, as you say at the end, Maka. I mean, opening day, he always scores. For the 135th time here at Anfield.
Wow.
He made it 4.
Yeah, and he was the one who's anticipating this clearance, wasn't he, by Endo? Look, you see he's on his way, and then it's him against 4. How on earth he scores? What would the other defenders do? And I will never know. So why doesn't someone go and close the ball down? But they allow him to chop onto his right foot and place it past the keeper. Wonderful goal by Salah. As you said, can't keep a good man down at all. And he steals the headlines at the end, doesn't he, by getting the 4th? But he should have been stopped defensively.
He just had to score, didn't he?
Had to score.
You know, chasing lost causes and even getting it there. He had so much to do still. Just get to these positions. I mean, we've seen him do it so many times. And
that's his hunger, Jermaine, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing with his weaker foot. He just scores goals. You know, opening days of the season, always scores goals, always produces.
It's funny, isn't it? We talk about Wirtz and we talk about Ekitike, and we've talked, and the leading goal scorer we haven't mentioned at all. And then he goes and nicks the headlines right at the end.
And we know he loves records. And as I mentioned at the end there, 187. He's now bang level with Andy Cole, and he's got Wayne Rooney and certainly Harry Kane in his sights, hasn't he?
Well, exactly, and could he get to that by the end of this season? It's not impossible. I mean, he scored 30 goals in the past to get close there to Harry Kane. I mean, it might take him a little bit longer. He signed a new 2-year contract, hasn't he? So you'd think if he stays fit, he's certainly going to go into second. Can he beat Alan Shearer? He'd probably need to sign another contract, I would have thought.
I'm sure he'd be thinking about that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he loves a record, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves a record. He's a goal scorer. He wants to score goals. He wants to break records. You know, he's all about numbers. But that's amazing. When you look at that list there, it's amazing.
And that's why he signs his 2-year deal. He signs it for this. He hasn't signed it for cash, incentives. He wants to play at the highest level. He wants to score goals and he wants to chase down records. And he's certainly doing. If he stays fit, he'll catch Wayne, and he'll catch Wayne, won't he? And he'll catch Harry Kane. No problem at all.
That's all positive. Let me bring you up to date with one negative. We saw the game paused in the first half, right in front of where we were sitting, actually. This was when the referee, Anthony Taylor, was informed by the players that there was an alleged racial comment made towards Antoine Semenyo. As we saw, the managers and the officials were called across. Anthony Taylor explained that. Semenyo, in the end, was happy for the game to continue. That was Semenyo talking to Arne Slot at full time. And now we have a statement to bring you from the Premier League Match Centre, and this is it. The game between Liverpool and Bournemouth temporarily paused in the first half after a report of a discriminatory abuse from the crowd directed at Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo. This is in line with the Premier League's on-field anti-discrimination protocol. The incident at Anfield will now be fully investigated. We offer our support to the player and both clubs. Racism has no place in our game or anywhere in society. We will continue to work with stakeholders and authorities to ensure our stadiums are as an inclusive and welcoming environment for all. And that was the only sour moment of the night, Jermaine.
Yeah, I mean, the authorities are got to do what they've got to do. For the top of the show, really, you know, with the tributes and, you know, everything that we've seen and what's gone on with Liverpool winning the game, which is the most important thing. for one person to do that, you know, you don't want to see it in a game. It's happened too much. But like I said, for the Forest to do what they do and that, but you know, it's disgusting to see it, to be honest. You know, at this stage where we're at now and all the work that's been done, you know, it's disgusting to see it.
We understand that Liverpool fan was notified and ejected at half-time.
Yeah, and rightly so, as Jermaine says. Absolutely no place in the game on what was such an emotional night, a great night in many ways, a reflective night. You know, the last thing that we needed was something like that to happen. But it looks like the authorities have dealt with it quickly. Referee, players, etc., all to be commended, and hopefully the person gets the punishment he deserves.
I was going to say, he won't just be ejected when he was asked to leave. He won't be allowed back in for many years now. So how idiotic can you be on a night like this, when it turns into a 4-2 victory for Liverpool and a thoroughly entertaining game and a wonderful night?
Yeah, and as we mentioned right at the top, one that was a brilliant tribute to Diego Jota. We saw amazing mosaics and tribute beforehand. We mentioned and we talked about Mo Salah there taking it all in, when the clock was singing his song as well tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, amazing before the game, really emotional. That You'll Never Walk Alone was sung with so much passion. And then, of course, what we expected. The game then took over, concentration, you know, the professional people. But then, of course, at the end of the game as well, then it's time to ponder, to have some thoughts, to reflect again. And you can see a lot of tears, a lot of emotions around the place. So before and at the end of the game, you know, I think it was a great tribute to Diogo and his brother, and you can see it affected everybody tonight.
And as you said before the game, you know, they were friends, not just teammates. It's been a strain. It's been a strain on these Liverpool players.
It shows there with those pictures there, you know, Mo Salah getting emotional, crying. You know, they've been difficult to players as well. You know, like I said, you become a family. You spend so much time together, and you know, these players they've got kids, they've got siblings. You know, to lose someone so close to you is difficult. You know, everyone's going through the bereavement. And it was hard, but again, the most important thing for these boys to win the game tonight like they did in great fashion, and you know, I'm sure the fans enjoyed it.
And Liverpool have the 3 points, but being ultra critical as Arne Slot is, will he be concerned with the goals they gave away and some of the chances they offered up as well?
Yes, I think it's only natural. He did say that certainly after the Crystal Palace Community Shield game, how they conceded goals against Milan, they conceded goals against Athletic Club, and they've conceded goals against Palace. They've done exactly the same tonight. I expect them to get better, but there has to come a point where you stop with the excuses, as in you stop conceding chances, you stop conceding goals, and you can go through the goals tonight, how they conceded, and you can say, oh, we should have done this and we should have done that. They're easy to analyse, but still it happens. And you can't keep having to score 3s and 4s to win games. So it will have to get better and will have to get sorted out. But I expect that to happen. Kirkers and Frimpong are new players. Today Endo came on, then Joe Gomez come on. His substitutions have worked out again, haven't they, Arne? Yeah. They worked out on a number of occasions last year, and they were taking good players off and putting sort of, you know, the sort of second string on, yet they still got the 2 goals and got the victory. So the manager's doing something special, isn't he, with the substitutions, whether he's asking them, whether he's telling them, but he's certainly getting the right results off them.
Yeah, very impressive. I mean, listen, how he's done what he's done in the first season was great and incredible, and he's got a different squad. This is more of an Arne Slot sort of imprint on his squad now. I mean, people are going to... It was still a Jurgen Klopp team, really, wasn't it, last season, that he took over and did fantastically well with, but now he's going to be judged on his signings, which is a different aspect of management that you get judged on. So this is fast becoming his team now. He did have to make some changes because some were forced upon him. But he's picked a few as well that he wanted to bring into the club. So, yeah, I mean, it's 10 out of 10 for what he's done so far. But he had a big fright there tonight.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Bournemouth give them a real good game. They wouldn't fancy playing Bournemouth every week.
I think he will bring in a centre defence, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's brought in
the young boy,
but he's still 18, and as I said before the game and now, you can't expect him to come right into a game, not a Premier League game like it was tonight. He would have just froze. So he'll have to bring in an experienced centre defender. That's what I think anyway. I think it'll be criminal not to, after all the forwards that they've bought.
There's still a team to beat for you?
I think so, yeah. I think just in those forward areas, you know, they're so strong. You know, on average, last season they scored 2 goals a game. And me and Maka spoke before. You know, obviously, you know, you got to stop conceding because it's almost like you score 5, we score 6. Can't always approach games like that. But at the same time, in those forward areas, they're so strong. You always fancy Liverpool to win games.
It's a tough start, isn't it, for them? Yeah. I mean, today they might have looked at it and thought this is one of the easy ones, but it wasn't. And then look what's coming.
Look at those next 2.
Look what's coming. You know, they may have a little bit of respite with Burnley, but then the Merseyside derby, Palace away, they've already got beat on penalties in the neutral ground, and then Chelsea. I mean, it's a tough start, so they'll be really relieved, let's say, to get the first 3 points on the board.
Crucial for that. OK, right, we've had some nights of starters. Maka, Jermaine, Michael, thank you very much indeed. We're off and running. We've waited 82 days. I know you have as well. We have another 379 games to bring you, including 5 tomorrow. But tonight certainly didn't disappoint. The champions are off on Premier League Live. Hugo, congratulations. How did that feel all around the Anfield experience, your goal and the way you won it there tonight?
I mean, it's amazing to play here. As you can see, when we won at the end, the crowd was just unbelievable. So yeah, it's just a great feeling. I enjoy every minute playing on that pitch, and you know, it's just the start. So I just stay focused, and I want to do more for the team.
And what a start to get the first goal on your debut in the first half. How did that feel?
I mean, we start to create good connection with the guys at the training. Understand them more. So yeah, we create good connection, and I think that's why now I'm able to make more difference. And I think in the future I will make more. I hope so.
Hugo, many congratulations on your goal. You must have watched the Premier League from afar, and you see maybe a quicker pace, the atmosphere. Was tonight everything that you expected? Is it much different to what you've been used to?
Yeah, obviously it was different because of what happened with Jota. Obviously, like the tribute tonight was amazing, and you could feel that. And yeah, like I just had goosebumps at that time, and it's just like amazing. I can't really explain my feeling right now because I just want to keep going, you know. It's football, it's moments, so I want to do more, and yeah, that's it.
Hugo, I don't know whether you can hear me. You scored last week and you've scored again today. How is your adaptation within the squad?
I mean, the boys adapt me well. They help me so much, particularly Ibu, but also the other guys. You know, they're very open, easy to talk. They help me a lot, and yeah, I'm grateful for that because like I already feel like at home, like I was in Frankfurt, and yeah, it just makes me better as a person and as footballer, I think.
Hugo, obviously you scored in your last 2 games. Do you set yourself any targets? Because you scored on the opening day of the season. Do you set yourself any targets for this season with goals?
I mean, I'm a striker. The most important for me is to make the difference for the team to win. If I score, I'm happy. If I give assists like Cody, I would be happy. But yeah, obviously, you know, when you're a striker, you want to score. It's the best feeling, and yeah, I want to keep doing it.
And what's it like to play in a team that creates so many chances? Players like Wirtz and Salah and Gakpo.
It's just fun. I have fun, you know. I have so much fun with them. And as you can see tonight, like not everything worked well. We have some detail to work, and yeah, it will get better, I'm sure.
Watching your game as well, it looks like you're a centre-forward that you can run in behind, but you're also very, very good at coming short and linking the play. Almost like an all-round centre-forward. Not many people can do that now.
Yeah, but if I have to be honest with you, I'm not really that happy with my game, you know. I think I lost too many balls, but I try to get better, you know. If I can do everything on the pitch to help the team, I will improve in all the stuff I can improve, and yeah, the most important is the win, as we did tonight. So yeah.
And do you feel you can get fitter because, of course, you haven't been here that long? Do you feel as if your fitness levels will improve? Yeah,
of course. You know, the intensity is different. People don't lie about Premier League. It's something else. You know, I had cramp at 60 minutes. So, but yeah, I will get better. I'm someone who can adapt quick. I already adapt quick to the team. And I work every day in the training ground to get better. And I think already the next game I will be better. Yeah, for sure.
And what's it like coming into a group that have just won the league, a group of winners that have got that momentum from last season as well?
You need to adapt to them, obviously. They already made the road last season, and I just want to follow them because I think we can reach that. We have the quality for that, but we have to be all in the same page, and we just have to adapt to them and just see what they do and be on the same page to reach our goals.
Well, it's a brilliant start, a brilliant debut. We appreciate you talking to us. Thank you very much indeed, Hugo. Well, he was actually quite hard on himself there. He wasn't impressed with his overall game tonight, but you were, particularly in that first half. And the point is, he's got a bit of everything for you for a centre forward.
He has, yeah. I mean, even that goal there, the Gakpo goal, it looks simple, but fronting up in a certain area to be that sort of that wall pass, let's say. You need to understand the game without being disrespectful. Darwin Núñez wouldn't have been in that position. He wouldn't have gone and thought, right, okay, I'm not going to score here, but I could, help my team. I could get into a position here. And that little diagonal ball into the box there is a really important position as a centre forward. You need to go and make that angle and just stand there, hold it and lay it off one way or the other. So something like that is very simple. He makes it look simple, but it's not necessarily. You have to have an understanding of the game. We just pick up a few bits that he did here. He comes off and turns and has a nice touch and brings people into play, gets into the box.
Yeah.
I said an all-round player before, Jermaine, and I think that is. I mean, here he's tracking back as well. He does a bit of everything.
And even Mo, you're probably the same. I felt like when I was playing it, for me, it was more natural to do all my stuff in and around the box. But, it's so difficult for a centre-forward sometimes when you're receiving the ball to feet and to link play. And sometimes that comes with experience and age where you can have soft touches and when you need to retain it and bring people into playing that. But, I mean, this kid and that, every time, and he's not even happy with his performance. I thought he'd done well. Everything that he did tonight was good. He deserved the goal. But, technically he's just so good.
That's just so simple. He makes it look so simple, but it's so important to give your team an offer. And Macca will know when he gets the ball. This is a great little run in behind, and it just frees a little area, but stretches, gets a good touch. Obviously, there's a bit of luck, and that's the finish. You tend to just push it into that far corner.
Yeah, his goal in the Community Shield and his goal today, both occasions he comes off, gets involved, and then spins and goes inside.
Yeah.
And that's really nice just to see. As Mo and Jermaine said, sometimes it looks really easy, but it's not. Centre forwards normally sometimes are either in the box waiting for crosses, or they'll drop off and then they'll get involved and then they'll go asleep. You just like the fact that he's coming and he's going and he's changing, and the defenders can't go with him. They either go in with him and then leave space behind, and you see Wirtz running past them or Salah running past them, and that's the hard part, or the defenders will stay and let him go and turn. So as long as you keep getting the defenders thinking all the time and dragging them out of positions and making them go into positions which are uncomfortable for defenders, he's doing his job. Sometimes he doesn't even need the ball, but the fact that he's going and dragging people, it creates space elsewhere, and that's the thing I like. He seems to have it really naturally. He's not necessarily being taught. He just gets it straight away.
And did Liverpool have that at all times last season, that type?
I don't think so.
Not really, no. And he's a presence as well, isn't he? I mean, not only has he got the sort of the soft touch, as Jermaine said before, he got that silky touch, he's got that comfortable touch, but also if there's a 50-50 ball, you back him to get it. He's got, long legs, long arms. I mean, he looks wiry and hard to play against, strong, makes bad balls into good balls. I think I like that type of centre forward. I mean, especially nowadays when you're just playing one up front, I think you've got to have a little bit of everything. And he impressed me tonight. Sure, he can get better. I'm sure he can. But he did a lot of good things today. And when he came off, I was thinking, ooh, I wondered why he came off. Obviously, fitness. He hasn't probably had the pre-season the others have had. But I thought he was probably Liverpool's best player. And I thought it was a risk to take him off. But fortunately, they got away with it.
Indeed, and it was a good substitution all round from the Liverpool manager, who got off to that winning start just as he did here 12 months ago. Let's get his thoughts. Here he is.
Arne, congratulations. We saw, similar to last week really, we saw an awful lot of really, really good things from your team. and also obviously some not so good things from your team. To go from 2-0 to 2-2, you would have been really frustrated with that.
Yeah, the way the goals fell is you're never happy with if you can see the goal, but I think we also have to give credit to Bournemouth, who were already in the first half a constant threat. We were 1-0 up. I think they were not so happy with that half-time score maybe. Then we started off really well second half, being 2-0 up, but we play against a team that never gives up. Very fit. Last season they were top of every chart when it comes to running stats, and again they were very impressive in that sense today, the way they counter-attacked us with the second goal they scored, for example. Yeah, that shows you that you have to give credit to them as well. But they face a team that's really fit as well, last season but this season again. And although we've lost many players, the mentality to come back after a disappointment is still there, also with the new ones.
And obviously it's a great moment for Chiesa, who's had to be patient for minutes at the football club and probably hasn't done as much for Liverpool as he would have liked, but that's a great moment for him.
Yeah, fantastic. Came in the end because we needed a goal. Missed the Asian tour, missed a large part of pre-season, as a few others. McAllister the same, Joe Gomez the same. But for him then to score in such a moment a goal is special, and it's even more special because the fans have supported him last season, but today again. And I think it's nice that he gives them something in return with a great goal.
To win 4-2 is a great start to the season. It feels like there might be a few games like this. I mean, would you like to win? Are you happier winning, scoring lots of goals, or do you like a nice 1-0 that's just keep a clean sheet and keep it steady?
No, we like to win. That's the first thing. But I think we also play football, especially here at Anfield, for the fans to enjoy what they see. And therefore you need two teams and you need a good referee. I think the referee today kept the game going. It was a very high and intense game. So all three attributed to a very nice game. And that's what you get, especially in the Premier League this season, where there is so much quality. But like I said, both teams were just at it, trying to attack, trying to go for transition, and not time wasting or whatever things that sometimes happen in a football match as well. So, yeah, like I said, all three parties attributed to a great game.
I must ask you finally about that incident in the first half with Semenyo. I know it's not great, and the club's made a statement, but nobody needs that.
No, not great. I don't think that's the right word. It's much worse than that. But the club made a clear statement. It's obvious that we don't want this in football, that there's nothing we can say that how we feel about this, and we don't want this in football, but we definitely don't want this at Anfield. And unfortunately, that's now part of the story, because for the rest we should talk about how a great tribute there was for Diogo, what our fans did for him, for his family, with the great banner and the way they sung "You Never Walk Alone," all of these things. But let's be clear, the club had a clear statement, and this should never happen in football, let alone at Anfield.